What is up, everyone? We just got back from a awesome July Pokemon Highlander 2023 in-person monthly. The online monthly is a week from this video being uploaded. There will be live coverage from that as well. Again, we saw some crazy decks. It was awesome to see, and we're going to go through 3 matches that were recorded today. And it was pretty fun. Everyone brought some pretty awesome decks, very diverse matchups. Ironically diverse, but there's also a little bit of similarities going on. You'll see with this first duel, we got Samurai versus Samurai. Let's see the showdown. So, we are starting with Cuda versus Sax. So, I can just tell you now, the information's out there. Cuda is piloting a Water Samurott deck. Sax is piloting a Darkness Samurott deck. If you think that was a coincidence, it wasn't. Both these players kind of teamed up for preparing for this monthly, and so in that case, they decided to split and push Samurott in both of his forms with the 2 respective elements that he is. So we see Cuda on the left, taking his first turn with the Battle VIP Pass, Oshawott, Klefki, Eevee. He already has 2 energy on Oshawott, and he uses Kyogre's attack to attach 2 water to Kyogre. And we saw on Sax's first turn that he used Pancham and Pancham's attack to get multiple energy. Now Pangoro already has 3 darkness. One of them is a special dark. He's ready to swing. Now remember, you can open the database and quickly look up these card names to follow along if you want to pause and look what the Pokemon do. For experienced Highlander players, they know what these guys do. But if you want help out, use the database. Anyway, we see Duwat on Jacob's bench. Sax takes his turn, plays down Obstagoon, places 3 darkness markers on Cuda's Pokemon. Here comes Hisuian Samurott, already knocks out Kyogre. If you don't know, Hisuian Samurott says if their HP hits a certain mark, they're just automatically knocked out. And so with Obstagoon, he's able to hit those numbers really fast. So kind of both these players found a way to kind of energy excel their Samurotts, and now we see Samurott versus Samurott. The thing is that, well, Samurott has a Pokebody that reduces damage by 20. So there's going to be a lot of interesting number trades going on here. And we also see a Vaporeon on Jacob's bench. Every time a water Pokemon gets a knockout, it gets plus 30 HP. And that's just a counter, so it'll stay on them. So in Sax's turn, he plays Devoured Field. We see Umbreon on his bench. Umbreon will give him minus 10. So now Samurott's taking minus 30. Hits the other Samurott, doesn't get a knockout. Oh, the Super Potion! Woo! We're healing up now. And then he knocks out Sax's Samurott. Now you would think that the first person to lose Samurott might lose the game, but Sax's deck is very nimble. He has other attackers. He's not banking everything just on Samurott here. And we saw earlier that he was setting up Pangoro. So now we see Pangoro active. We see the Raihan, which benefits him after the opponent gets a knockout, gets that energy acceleration onto, or he gets the net bonuses for Pangoro, attaches to Obstagoon, and he swings at Samurott. Now another thing about Pangoro is he gets more HP for every Pokemon on the bench. We see the Toy Catcher pull out Umbreon. Jacob recognizes the problem there. Jacob being Cuda. He knocks out Umbreon. Jacob's on a good momentum roll. He's using the dice there as counters. We usually use coins, but Sax also is using counters, so this is a good way to differentiate. Okay, so he reads Obstagoon. Again, Sax has a lot of backup attackers. We see the Galarian Moltres on the bench. Already has accelerated some darkness energy to it. So he's ready to strike there. Jacob plays his stadium like a K-Willy. All his Pokemon with water energy take 10 less. Amistar, is he going to de-evolve? Looks like Pangoro gets de-evolved, but if Jacob can't pull up, then yep, right there. Sax is just going to re-evolve. We see the Level Ball Surge, grabs Oshawott. He's going to re-stream Samurott as fast as possible. Okay, so we see the level. Umbreon's back too. Okay, so, and we're gonna share, you know, the winning deck list after the coverage. But what you're seeing here is, you know, Sax's deck is, as mentioned earlier, pretty nimble. Okay, we see Moltres level X. The dual typing mechanic now makes Moltres a Darkness and Fire type. If you don't know, Moltres level X says all your Darkness and Fire Pokemon do 10 more, take 10 less. and have 1 less retreat. So Sax is basically bolstering his offensive and defensive numbers. Obstagoon takes out Amistar. Jacob plays the Lysander / Boss's Orders, which is Cyrus, pulls up Pangoro, and remember, this is a 2 out of 3 set. So they have an hour and 45 minutes, and Jacob has decided that he needs to scoop for time and hopefully can win out the next 2 games. Shuffle up here, declump the deck, you know, get everything really shuffled in. That's actually highly advised. If you don't shuffle well, then basically all the cards in your discard pile are going to be placed together, and that's probably not going to be ideal. You don't want a dead draw. Obviously, we believe in a true shuffle, so you want to shuffle, but after you're piling. But I think piling is good for counting cards, good for declumping the discard pile and stuff like that. All right, so they're setting up. We'll see how fast Sax catches up to set up his board, because Cuda's already ready. Oh, another mulligan. Boom, boom. Gets the hand. All right, so he gets a lead. Well, again, it's interesting to take note of like how fast or long it takes someone to put their prizes down, because it's important. Prize cards will serve you for the entire game. Oh, and we see the continuous opener of Irida Battle VIP Pass for 3 Pokemon. Now, is that the equivalent to a Pokemon collector? Yeah. I mean, Irida can grab any water Pokemon, so it's not a basic. It is funny though, sometimes you could just go for collector, but in this case, you know, he already has the Dewott ready. He has Vivillon. Oh! He already has Samurott ready. But if you look on the right side, Sax has a Pancham with 3 Darkness. Pangoro is ready to swing. Alright, so how is Jacob going to respond? He keeps Vivillon out. Good way to wall and set up his bench. Glaceon out. Glaceon says your water metal Pokemon take 10 less. Bam! We see Pangoro. Oh, Alter the Moon. Free retreat for Pangoro. Brings up Samurott. Hits him. Plays down the Defender. Defender's amazing in Highlander. We play with the 2010 power levels, so a -20 is crucial in play-by-plays. Can actually just make the biggest difference of the game if you can deny a KO. We see the switch to Vivillon. Strong energy on Samurott to ramp up. If you're able to do Samurott's first attack and hit them down to a certain HP, now strong energy gets you there faster. And as noted, they are playing a Water Samurott versus Darkness Samurott deck respectfully. So both these players found different ways to support Samurott. So Pangoro, after he uses his Crazy Knuckle, he gets to grab a plus power and Defender. And so we see that with Sax. He's streaming these trainer cards. Very helpful. We see Jacob promote Samurott. Oh, okay, energy on Cloyster. Now, Cloyster's good at protecting your bench, but Cloyster's also good as an attacker with things like Clamp and Spine Missile, Paralysis, and bench spreading, respectively. We see the Colors for 6. Sax gets his Eevee out. So yeah, both these players are playing an Evolution as well, from different types. In fact, Jacob's playing both Water-type Evolutions. Very helpful for HP and defense, respectively. We see the Super Potion, both these players. You can tell these players collaborated. But Jacob said at the tournament that Sax did make a few differences in his list. So he didn't reveal all of his tricks. Super Potion on Samurott. It is quite the standstill here. We see the Marnie, fresh new head from both players, hoping to disrupt Sax's game plan. Alright, Samurott's got 3 energy. He's ready to Pike, and we see that right there. Pike does good damage on the active and does damage on the bench. So he's setting up for future knockouts. Last Chance Potion from Sax. Did you see that? So Last Chance Potion requires you to be at 20 HP or less, and then you heal 70. Sax purposely puts a rainbow on Pangoro so he can activate Last Chance Potion. And now Pangoro is pretty healthy and swinging more damage on Samurott. We see Sax, you know, Sax is taking a prize, Sax is taking a prize card, takes another prize card, Jacob's taking 1. So we see 4 to 5, respectively. Jacob promotes Glaceon, Nest Ball, Roseanne's, Ammonite, Oh, the double watered. I think he's gonna do some damage spread, but Umbreon's out. Umbreon says -10 to all darkness Pokemon. So if Jacob wants to go for that damage spread, it's not gonna do anything if it's just 10. You know, he's gotta look out. Alright, so we see Darkrai level X. Remember, you get one form change a game. Last time was Moltres level X. Now we got Darkrai. Darkrai says all your darkness turn into Special Dark, which ramps up the damage of his big attackers, like Pangoru, Moltres, Obstagoon. All these guys can hit pretty hard in his deck. He doesn't attack with Metagross, but we do see the Beldum there. Metagross will reduce all HP by 20 on both sides. He also can pull up the bench if you flip heads. So it's just crazy momentum for Sax. See the switch, gets Aurora out of the active slot. Cloyster, it looks like we're gonna Spine Missile. Boom, 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 bop, boop. Okay, he got some damage on Darkrai. I see, it looks like a 60, so he got 3 heads. See the Rhyhorn. Okay, so he got the knockout. You know, we're even prizes. Okay, Rhyhorn accelerates the darkness into Oshawott. You know, he's getting ready for another Samurott. He's trying to go for a cleaner play, see if he can clean the board. But you know, you look at those coins on Glaceon and Samurott. That means they're going to be taking more damage from Darkness Pokemon because of Obstagoon. Very strong power. We see the Miriam and the Super Rod. See, that's the thing. Take note already how just fast Sax's deck is. It's ready to respond to a lot of situations. He can recover well. He's flexible with Alter of the Moon, and he's just dishing good damage. And there's the Wally. His Samurott's already ready to go. 3 energy, Special Dark. He takes a knockout, and so now Jacob promotes Glaceon. It's close, folks. 3 prizes each. When I was there yesterday, I actually heard there was some crossfire between the two where they were like, wow, this matchup is insane. Because look at this. Umbreon versus Glaceon and all these other damage ramp numbers, they have to do some math. But they have to make sure they don't slow play. Okay, it looks like Jacob could... Okay, Sax is showing Metagross. Metagross didn't pop up, but Sax takes game 2. So, wins that set. Now we see Steven versus Sax. Alright, so we're in round 2. There's 3 rounds, 2 out of 3 today. Or yesterday. Steven is playing a refined deck from last month that he played, which was a Mirage Gate Lost Zone centered deck around Arceus. Last time was Mew level X, but now he's focusing more on just hitting those Sky Spears, attacking with Ho-Oh and Vivillon. Mirage Gate lets you grab any type of basic energy and attach them to your Pokemon as an item, but you have to have 7 cards in your Lost Zone. So what we're seeing with Steven, as he opens up the game, Volbeat Giratina lets him basically Lost Zone supporters, like there. He just used a Colress Experiment and he Lost Zones it thanks to Volbeat and Giratina. It also makes Sax have to Lost Zone stuff, as you can see the Wally on Sax's side. We see Whimsicott. He's using Whimsicott's attack to grab... He casts 2 cards to the Lost Zone from his hand and grabs any 6 cards he wants from his deck. Now in Highlander, those cards have Shuffle Armor. That means that if Sax tries to add or Judge or Marnie, those cards don't get shuffled in. He gets to keep that. Consider that like it's a setup for next turn. In fact, it could be a setup for multiple turns. Alright, we see Sax with the Sableye, Alter the Moon. Sableye lets him grab a supporter. As we saw, Sax was using Sableye to impersonate Wally to ramp up the evolution of Samurott. Steven reads Samurott, recognizes that Ultimate Blade is going to take knockouts really fast. He's got the Special Darkness. He's got the Umbreon. He's got Samurott's Pokebody. He's taking less damage and dealing a lot more. Already a prize card taken by Sax. Here comes Mimikyu. Mimikyu has Impersonate just like Sableye. I think what we're seeing is, Mimikyu impersonates Colress's Experiment. Okay, DCE. Yeah, okay. Sax pulls up the Spupa. Again, Sax has 5 prizes left. Steven's still sitting at 6. Steven needs to, set up his board. He definitely has his Lost Zone count ready. So if he can get some Mirage Gates, he can start swinging. Sends up Volbeat. There's the Mirage Gate. Bam. Sidekick. Oh. Grass. Who's he attaching to? Giratina? No, it's Vivillon. Vivillon's already got the Fairy energy on it. Yeah, so one on Vivillon, one on Roserade. Sax's turn. Obstagoon. Here come the 3 counters. Now those Pokemon will take more damage from Darkness Pokemon. That includes bench damage. And Samurott does bench damage with his Pike attack. So Sax is setting up for easy double knockouts. Oh! And as I say it, he already gets even more knockouts from Samurott, and that's 2 special darkness as well. Samurott is swinging with those Obstagoon counters, special dark modifiers, and protection from his own body and Umbreon. Sax is using Devoured Field, as you can see at the top right of his playmat. Adds 10 more damage for darkness. How does Steven reply? Steven does the Lost Vacuum, gets rid of Devoured Field to the Lost Zone. Arceus, bam, uses Arceus' power, gathers a bunch of energy to Arceus, promotes as the active. I think this is where we see Arceus level X. He needs the numbers. He needs the HP numbers. Samurott is weakened to Grass, so if he keeps that Grass energy, plays Arceus level X right there, he's now Grass type, times 2 weakness. We're seeing a Judgment Blast for 160 before modifiers, but even that is still enough. So fun fact, Sax actually forgot there was a Mega Sableye. I'm not saying that would dictate the match here, but there are situations where you can do a fast overconfident for like 60 damage for 1 energy. We see Sableye, looks like he's gathering resources. Steven's turn, we see the Toxicroak. Toxicroak says that any poison Pokemon isn't unpoisoned. They have to if they go to the bench, they're still poisoned. They have to have an energy attached and stuff just to get rid of poison. It really taxes on the numbers, and poison is already like the tick-tock times awaiting kind of condition, and Toxicroak adds insult to injury for that. We see the Vivillon. Vivillon can convert all basic energies to 1 type on one of your Pokemon. It also does a ton of damage for every different type of basic energy. We see Vivillon loaded up with Mirage Gate. Sax has the Moltres level X. Dual typing comes into effect. Moltres itself is already swinging for 100, but with his modifiers, it looks like 110 there. And if they have an Obstagoon counter, it's going to 140. Mimikyu, Float Stone, Energy on Vivillon. The Guzma onto Sax's Obstagoon. He wants Obstagoon gone. Obstagoon, even after placing the counters, is still a big threat, can do a ton of damage. We see Steven take a prize, 3 left to Sax's 2. Sax once again promotes Sableye, a good way to wall out the opponent as he tries to re-establish his board. Speaking of, Samurott's back. Defender, Darkness Energy. And looks like he just does an impersonate. I see Wally in his discard in the corner there. Okay, I think he might have Wally for Metang. He definitely did something with Sableye's impersonate too. It's not just a good stall for time, he actually sets up his board. Here he is once again, Moltres level X modifies 10. Samurott hits the numbers with Ultimate Blade, which is an automatic KO on a Vivillon. We see Mimikyu, it's close folks, 2 prizes to 1. Lost City, now when he takes a prize card, whenever Steven gets a knockout, those Pokemon are going to the Lost Zone. That's for both sides. But that's a benefit to Steven more often than not. But he can't keep pace. As you saw, Sax just keeps the momentum. This is a well-made deck, because what happens is it's focused on Samurott. Samurott's taking quick KOs with Ultimate Blade. They finally knock out Samurott after Umbreon and all these defensive modifiers, literally defender. And then Sax is like, Super Rod, Miriam, I can use my own Sableye to play Miriam, I can use my own Sableye to play Wally, and I get Samurott back ASAP. But guess what? Here's the key to that. That still takes a little bit of time. So he'll start swinging with Moltres. He'll start swinging with Obstagoon. He'll start swinging with Pangoru. It's just like, these guys got his back, Samurott's gone, he's like, I'll be back. And they're like, we got you, bro. Boom, boom, boom. Knockout, knockout, knockout. Game 2. Steven goes first, starts with Eevee, gets the Grass Energy, Communication for Mimikyu, Giratina, Volbeat, the classic combo. Volbeat places a supporter from both sides on top of the deck. Giratina lassos the top of both decks to... it puts both cards on the top of both players' decks to the lasso. A benefit for Steven, and more often than not, a deficit for Sax, unless he really doesn't want that card for the rest of the game. There can be cases where, like, you don't want your collector mid-late game anyway, so it going to the Lost Zone can help. Oh, and we see the Let Loose, and Sax loses the Last Chance Potion. That's pretty big. Alright, Steven's already got 4 cards in the Lost Zone. If he hits that Magic 7, he can start using Mirage Gate to accelerate energy. Sax, we see the... Oh my gosh, did he get Wally again? That or he went first, but I see a Duat, so yep, looks like he's evolving fast. Duat with the Dark, he only needs 1 more energy on Samurott to start hitting with Ultimate Blade. Again, Steven's deck is a little more setup oriented, and then he just has like a burst of energy thanks to Mirage Gate once he's ready. Impersonate Chloris's Experiment, look at the top 5 cards, cast away 3 to the Lost Zone, put 2 to the hand. Or it's 3, as you saw. Yeah, you grab 3 to the hand, 2 go to the Lost Zone. Darkrai level X. All Darkness Energy are now Special Dark, so plus 10. We see another evolution tonight, or at the tournament yesterday. Espeon grants protection from your Pokemon from effects of attacks if they have a damage on them and stuff. Okay, we see the Roserade, the Dark Double Colorless, ready to play Lost City, and it makes Darkrai go right to the Lost Zone. He is not coming back the rest of this game. Gets a KO with Roserade, and we see the Amoonguss on the bench, so he was able to do Deep Poison for a ton of damage. But again, Sax's deck is nimble. He brings up Samurott. Special Darkness, Knockout. We've talked about this. This is what makes a good deck, is when things don't go your way, you're able to U-turn and steal back some momentum. Look at Sax's bench. He's got Eevee ready. He's got Zigzagoon. He's ready to play Umbreon ASAP. Now Espeon has an attack that lets him pierce through all effects, so it'll do a straight amount of damage to Samurott if he decides to do that. It looks like Arceus is set up with 4 energy on him. Iono, Arceus. Will he play the level X? He's going through his extra deck. Yep. And he does Judgment Blast. That's going to KO Samurott. Again, Arceus is Grass type. So another cool thing about Mirage Gate is because it attaches all these different types of energy, Arceus becomes all those types if he's the level X. Or if he's in his level X form. Umbreon, Moonlight Fang, does pretty good damage, but it also says if the defending Pokemon attacks and has an ability, it can't hit Umbreon. So take note of that. Whenever you see that Umbreon up there, he's probably hardwalling with Moonlight Fang at this tournament. Guzma, Moonlight Fang, Arceus cannot hit Umbreon. Sax is sitting on just Umbreon and Metagross. Steven's in an interesting scenario. All of his Pokemon out right now have abilities. Okay, pulls up Metagross. Mirage Gate. He's really ramping up his Pokemon here. Okay, Metagross is knocked out. Now again, this is a crucial moment for Sax. Roseanne's for Oshawott Darkness. Moonlight Fang, he's walling Arceus to stop Steven from potentially winning the game with 2 prizes left. This is the exact momentum he needs back. Alright, Cynthia. Now, Arceus can copy a few attacks. Giratina, Volbeat. But we'll see what he does. Oh, is he doing the full retreat? Okay, he does Sky Spear. He puts 3 energy into the Lost Zone. Okay, Espeon. Yeah. So, 1 prize to 4. Sax is banking off of Moonlight Fang now. If there's any way for Sax to win, it's to stall out with Umbreon and get an attacker like Moltres going. Bam! Moltres has a power. If you flip heads, you can attach 3 Darkness Energy from your discard pile to Moltres, and then he hits for 100 to discard it all. Okay. Here comes Giratina. Pulls up the Umbreon. Crazy. Now Umbreon's poisoned. Now he's on a timer. If Sax wants to, okay, Rainbow Retreat, switch, resets, Moonlight Fang again. See the Ho-Oh Rebirth, gives Sax a prize, does some damage to Moltres. If Sax can retreat Moltres, he might be able to turn this game around. It's 1 prize left for Steven. Guzma. Does he have the knockout on Umbreon? No, he doesn't. He's like 10 off. That could have been it. Oh, here's the Special Dark. Super Potion. Sax is going crazy. He heals off. This is such a good hard wall. Giratina. Okay. Oh man, yeah, Steven only needs 1 prize, but Sax knows it. He is banking everything on Umbreon, trying to get that Obstagoon set up. See if he can lock in the game there, or deck out Steven. Roxanne, okay, good disruption. Defender, Special Dark. Get some good chip damage on Giratina. Oh, and Steven, I think Steven concedes to Sax. Wow. Yeah, that's a crazy one. Steven literally had 1 prize floating. And Sax was able to make a comeback by walling out with Umbreon. Remember, Umbreon's Moonlight Fang cannot be hit if they have an ability. And all of Steven's attackers at that point had abilities. I mean attackers by all of his Pokemon. All of them out. He's got to find a way to bypass Umbreon. Speaking of, turn 1 Wally, Umbreon Darkness. I remember Steven was definitely giving quite the reaction. Not over the top, but he's like, oh great, ASAP, here's Umbreon. Hard walling me. But at least it's a fresh new game. Steven has all his resources back. Hopefully he can find a witty way to take down Umbreon. See Cynthia, Mimikyu. She's probably going to impersonate for Chorus's experiment, but we will see. Now remember, Mimikyu has an attack that copies the last attack, so he could copy Moonlight Fang in a bit. We see the impersonate for Koga's Trap, that's witty. Makes Umbreon poisoned and confused, but as we saw, he just did a retreat switch play. Okay. Alright, moves up to Darkrai level X, pulls up Ho-Oh, puts Ho-Oh to sleep, Iono. Okay, what is Steven gonna do? Oh, he concedes. That was it. Here we go. He was like, Umbreon's got me. He's like, nah, I'm done. I'm done. Steven is one of our best players in Pokemon Highlander, and Sax got him pretty good in that set. Kind of like what we saw with Jacob vs. Ryan in their exhibition when Jacob was playing Melmetal. These Pokemon can't be touched by Pokemon with abilities. Alright, we see... Now, this is interesting context. This is K-Willy's Gardevoir, Granbull, Hattering deck, but K-Willy couldn't make it. We had a player that had to leave early, so for the last round, it was going to be K-Willy versus Sax, and we had Steven actually play in K-Willy's stand because Steven already won because the other player had to leave. So we're seeing Steven pilot the Fairy deck, and then Sax is on a 3rd game run today for this tournament. See the judge whistle. All right, we already see Grimmsnarl. Grimmsnarl says if you only have 2 bench, then for 2 Fairy, you do 120 damage. Gets a quick knockout, 5 prizes to 6. But as we see before, Sax is very fast at getting Samurott out, and he's already there. Pulls up Diancia, Moltres level X, 1 Special Dark, So Legendary Pressure is now hitting for 50 for 1 energy, and it makes the defending Pokemon cost 1 more colorless for their attack. Ironically, Grimmsnarl does the same thing as a Pokebody, makes the opponent pay 1 more colorless if he's active. See the Erica's Hospitality, draws 6 from it, very good. Diancia, now he can't evolve. He can't use Diancia's attack to quickly evolve from the deck. He needs another energy. Sax looks at the camera. Tails never fails. Looks like Steven whiffed the Pokemon reversal, and Sax wanted to jab in his famous catch line that I'm surprised he hasn't trademarked yet under the US government law of copyright. Okay, we see the Guzman Snubble. He knows that Gramble is pretty threatening. Knocks out Ralts, though, who's also threatening. Gardevoir can Power Lock, deal 70 or 90 if she's Mega Gardevoir. Alright, we see the Ribombee. Ribombee says if she's on the bench, then all of your fairy Pokemon can't be affected by trainers or supporter cards. That includes Guzma, that includes Team Flare Grunt, Agatha, Enhanced Hammer, the works. Diancia, Mega Diancia, he's probably going to Diamond Storm for 70, heal 20 from all his fairy Pokemon. Nice, good damage. Moltres level X isn't gone though, so we'll see what he does. Remember, if he can get Moltres level X out of the active slot, then Treacherous Inferno is going to modify his damage by 10, and he'll take 10 less damage, and the retreat cost of all his Pokemon are 1 less. We see the Colress for 9. Yeah, Sax's deck is just super consistent. It's consistent, it's persistent, it gets knockouts, and just when you think it's over, he bounces back. Samurott makes his debut once again, and like we've seen before, even if Samurott gets knocked out, Sax has the resources for the comeback story. Giant Cape, Defender. We'll see if the comeback story will come into effect, if it plays out, this set. Defender, Giant Cape, Moltres level X, Umbreon, and Samurott's Pokebody. There's a lot of damage he's mitigating here. See the classic Charon, draws 3, can discard for 1 more. Samurott's loaded. 2 special dark, another basic dark. Moltres level X adds damage. And look at those black coins on Steven's bench. Those are Obstagoon's counters that add 30 damage if a Darkness Pokemon hits him. So Mega Diancia is going to continue hitting for, looks like 70. I say 70, but it's like minus 40. And then Defender would be minus 60. But he still gets to heal. Alright, we see the new theory, which is just another version of Cynthia. Hatterene pulls up Pangoru, does 50, and Pangoru's confused. Okay, oh, the last chance potion. You might not see it on the bottom right, but that probably was discarded from Hatterene's power, which makes him discard a card. Now remember, Moltres level X grants 1 less retreat costs to your Darkness and Fire Pokemon. It's very helpful here. And once again, here comes the potential sweeper. Samurott loaded with a bunch of modifiers. And Steven concedes game 1. Now it's 2 out of 3, so we'll see what Steven adjusts accordingly for game 2. Yeah, so Sax actually kept this deck hidden. Obviously, I saw this deck going into the tournament because of registration, but no one saw this coming, except for Jacob, because both these players basically made a project. It was Project Samurott. Both Darkness and Water hit the tournament field yesterday. And, yeah, Sax is kind of on a roll. If he wins this, he wins the whole tournament. Alright, opener, retreat to Sableye, Charon, and then he Wallies. Yeah, Sableye Wallies nuts. It's just like playing Celebi or Diancia in Steven's deck. You ramp up your evolutions ASAP. It can really help out. So now he's going to probably attach an energy to Dewott, and then Samurott will be ready the turn after. Or right now. Well, he'll need the 2 energy, but he's going for Moltres level X. Do you see what Sax is doing this whole tournament? Samurott's not ready yet, but he's already there. And so what does Sax do? Oh, here's a fully evolved basic like Moltres or Sableye. And they're going to help wall out the opponent, cause disruption, and I'm going to set up my Samurott or Pangoro or Obstagoon. You know, it's crazy. This is such a good deck. It has such a good blend of basic stage 1, stage 2s that all complement each other well. He understands the pace of Highlander. You know, that's the beauty of Highlanders. There's all these different ways to play whatever deck you want to play in the format, and we're seeing it here between these 2 players. Anyway, Gardevoir level X, he tries to do Bring Down, but he recognizes that his Cutie Fly only has 30 HP, so he would be knocking out his own Cutie Fly. So that was a play mistake there, but Steven's a good player. He actually takes it to his advantage, gets out there with Escape Rope. Gardevoir level X has a power that lets him freely switch every turn, so it's good that Gardevoir level X is on the bench. Gardevoir also has a Poke Power that lets him freely move, let Steven freely move Fairy Energy from his bench to his active as often as he likes. So now it's just free reign. You see that Fairy Guarded, boom, 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 switch. Here comes Glaceon, hits for 130. Goodbye, Darkrai. Alright, here comes Umbreon. And now Steven's thinking, oh my gosh, once again, all of my fully evolved Pokemon out have abilities. Now, specifically, Umbreon is Moonlight Fanging away, you know, his Pokemon with powers and bodies. But that's still what that is here. So when I say abilities, I'm saying like powers and bodies. But Moonlight Fang's doing the work here. Like we saw last time when he fought Steven's Lost Zone deck with Giratina Arceus. Umbreon saves Sax a few turns. And in Highlander, just like the Pokemon competitive video game, if you play some Smogon standard formats, 1 turn is all you need. If your deck is consistent, it's fast, it's well built, if you can take 1 or 2 turns where the opponent doesn't get what they want, like a knockout, you can easily like steal that momentum back. I mean, look at this. Steven's got the prize lead. He's been taking knockouts. Sax has to make a comeback. And Umbreon might be the ticket for that. So we see Grimmsnarl again. We know Grimmsnarl can hit hard. There's no bench requisite that fits the first attack right now, but his last attack does 50 plus 20 for every energy on the defending Pokemon. You add that with Grimmsnarl's Pokebody, and the average attacker has like 3 to 4 energy if they want to use their attacks. Alright, so we see Hatterene, pulls up Obstagoon, does 50. Obstagoon is confused. See the Delinquent, gets rid of Fairy Garden. Okay, pretty good. So then we see Umbreon pulled up. And again, he's going to keep walling with Umbreon. I mean, Sax just understands this. He understands that Steven has no attacker that can pierce through a body. There's Pokemon like Druddigon, Kommo-o, Rampardos. They have these attacks and effects that pierce through other effects. But K-Willy's deck doesn't have that. His best bet is to pull up EV early or to move around. Now, he plays 3 Pokemon Reversal, so he can play around that. But I think Sax knows that, and he's being very careful with his resources. So he's doing a crucial defender play there. Steven asked, do you accept my challenge? He admits that's a bluff. He just wants the 2 cards. And Sax said, yeah, I'll take the challenge. And Steven actually had no basic Pokemon to play. And even if he did, he doesn't want to deck out. If you look at the corner of Steven's mat, his deck is actually getting thin, but so is Sax's. So once again, Umbreon is creating these opportunities to win the game. That's the funny part, is this tournament had a big focus on both forms of Samurott, but honestly, Umbreon has just been stealing games. I mean, it's Highlander, it's not just one Pokemon. You know, it's a team effort, unless you do like a sweep with one Pokemon. But in this case, Umbreon is granting Sax so many turns throughout the tournament. It was a good meta call. So many players run decks with abilities on their Pokemon. So you can just hard wall and then come out with your big swingers like we see here with Obstagoon, Pangoro, and Samurott. Now Grimmsnarl resists Dark, so this is Steven's last hope that he can get one more Fairy Energy and at least start doing some chip damage on Samurott. Rainbow Energy. Okay. Now Rainbow Energy lets Samurott benefit from Fairy Garden just in case Steven plays another. We see Steven do some chip, knocks out Samurott. Probably a crucial prize. He grabs a Super Rod from his prizes, and that's going to help him out right there. He's going to get 3 Fairy Energy back. He does not want to mill out. It's pretty even in prizes, so he wants to keep as much momentum as possible. Again, he can attack with Gramble, he can attack with Grimmsnarl, he could get Zacian back in action, but Umbreon will hardwall him. Bam, there's Umbreon. Like, look at this. Steven's got 2 prizes left. Once again, the prize lead, and here comes Umbreon to hardwall him. Okay, you see the reversal. He whiffs the reversal, and he says, "That's it." And Sax wins. Ladies and gentlemen, here is the deck list of the July monthly winner, our very own resident player, Sax. You look at this list. Now, he didn't put Mega Sableye and Mega Metagross in the picture, but they are available to him. He didn't use them throughout the tournament, but they could be handy. You never know when you need the extra HP. And he has the Rainbow. He actually could swing Mega Metagross. Anyway, let's do a quick breakdown before we say goodbye. So, again, he runs 8 lines of Pokemon. Samurott, the main core of the deck. He is spending all of these resources to support Samurott here, being able to get quick knockouts with Ultimate Blade once he reaches a criteria of a certain HP he hits on the defending Pokemon, so he can like sneak in a lot of KOs. His Pokebody grants -20. Very good. And also Pike does bench damage. That bench damage is amplified with Obstagoon. Obstagoon doing Untamed Shout, adding these counters to the opponent, doing a lot more damage. Metagross saying every Pokemon has -20 HP. So yeah, Samurott's just stealing these KOs pretty fast. Pangoro does a lot of damage, has a lot of HP when he's active. Umbreon, as we saw throughout the tournament, is a hard wall. Also grants -10 to all your Darkness Pokemon. We got Darkrai, pull up a bench, they're asleep. These 3 right here, and Umbreon, are the momentum stealers. Anytime that these 3 aren't ready to swing, these guys can hard wall for a bit, and the opponent, if they can't knock them out, will have to handle these guys again. Or these guys start swinging. They all have their own lethal attacks, right? Sableye, we saw impersonates Wally. Quick evolutions. Moltres has the level X, which says all your Darkness and Fire Pokemon have 10 modifiers as defense, offense, and 1 less retreat. So yeah, it was a well-constructed deck. I know Sax was practicing with this deck a decent amount. We have Tabletop Simulator with a Highlander build, so you're able to get as much practice as you want. And it really helps you, it really pays off. Awesome list by Sax, awesome tournament. We have the online monthly in a week. We will see what the players bring for that one. We have some out-of-state talent that's looking to play. It's going to be fun. And then next month, we'll have 2 more tournaments ready. I hope you guys enjoyed this tournament as much as I did, watching, learning. And if you ever are interested in playing Highlander, again, we have the community Discord, and we talk about the game almost every day. The simulator is free. All you have to do is buy Tabletop Simulator on Steam, and you can play against anyone you want online on the Discord. And you can find people out of the Discord if they're wanting to play some Pokemon TCG Highlander. Again, thanks for tuning in. I will see you guys around for the next tournament coverage. See you around.